Hello friends, welcome to the video on topic Tibolone. This is in continuity with the series of topic menopause. Two videos have already been covered. Now this is the third video. This is regarding the use of the drug Tibolone, which is very much specific to use in relation with the menopause. So let's start. What is Tibolone? So can we say that Tibolone is a selective estrogen receptor modulator? No, this is not a selective estrogen receptor modulator. But what it is? Let's start in a brief and then we'll go in detail. This video is specially for postgraduates and for practicing clinicians and gynecologists. So what is a Tibolone? Nomenclature. First of all, Tibolone is not a selective estrogen receptor modulator like raloxifene. No, it has got all the three actions. It is a synthetic drug. It is a synthetic drug derivative of 19-nor testosterone, 19-nor testosterone. It has got estrogenic, progestogenic and androgenic properties. It has also got glucocorticoid activities, mineralocorticoid activities, but clinically they are not of any value. So it has got all the three action. A drug having all the three action, but estrogenic activity is only at the level of bone, brain and vagina. And anti-estrogenic, it has got anti-estrogenic activity also, or you can say estrogen sparing activity. It's not anti-estrogenic, but estrogen action is spared. Where it is not present, it is liver, endometrium and liver and endometrium, it is spared, but bone, brain and vagina, it has got estrogenic activity. So this endometrium is spared. Here it has got no estrogenic effect, neither in liver it has got any estrogenic effect. So how is it possible that a single drug is having all the three activities? So what such a drug should be called? So there are various categories we can label Tibolone as. You should be aware about these terminologies if you are appearing in your exam, and if you get this drug in the drug discussion viva, so you will be asked all these things that is covered in this video. So number one, we can say it is as a steer, STEAR, or we can say it is as a trim, TRIM, or also SPEAR. So these are the grouping in which we can add Tibolone to. So what is steer? It is selective tissue estrogenic activity regulator. It is activity regulator. It is not receptor modulator or receptor activator or receptor modulator. Always remember this. This is selective tissue estrogenic activity regulator, or this is also called tissue specific receptor and intracrine mediator. Tissue specific receptor and intracrine mediator. And the last one is SPEAR. It is selective progestogen estrogen androgen regulator. So it is not only the receptor modulator. So these are the terms which may be asked in your exam, which group this Tibolone group drug belongs to, or you can get in your viva or MCQ also all these three, and SERM also present. So this is neither selective progesterone receptor modulator nor selective estrogen receptor modulator. Always remember. Brief history: this drug was developed in 1964 in Netherlands, and In market it came in around 1980s. Almost 25 years of research was carried out, and in late 1980s it entered the market. So this is about the nomenclature of this drug. In brief, how it performs its action. Tibolone itself is an inactive molecule. Tibolone itself is an inactive molecule. In our body, it gets metabolized to three major molecules, and they are 3-alpha tibolone, 3-beta tibolone, and the 4-delta-4 isomer. And these are the active metabolites. These two are carried in inactive form in the body, and at the receptor level, at the tissue level, they get converted to active form. These two has got estrogenic activity, and this delta-4 isomer has got progesterogenic and androgenic activity. So this is the mechanism of action. You may be asked in your viva. So these 3 hydroxy metabolites in circulation these are also present in inactivated sulfate forms, and at the tissue level they get converted to active forms. But this delta-4 isomer, it has got androgenic and progesterogenic activity. So in this way, at tissue level, what is happening, especially in the endometrium, what is happening, this is, they affect the level through enzymes and not by receptor, through enzymes and metabolites, through metabolites and enzymes. What they do, they inhibit the sulfatase and stimulate the sulfotransferase, inhibit the sulfatase and stimulate the sulfotransferase enzymes, which leads to development of molecules that have the potency to work on receptors. So it is at the level of metabolite and enzyme level it is acting. It is not acting at, it has no specific action at the receptor level. So this tibolone is a wonderful drug having all the 3 activities that we require in a postmenopausal woman, but still it is banned in United States of America. It is approved for use in India. So we will discuss why it is banned in America, USA, and why, what are the findings regarding its use. It is said that what are the side effects. It is the now one of the important steps in postmenopausal hormone replacement therapy. Postmenopausal hormone replacement therapy for hot flushes, it is used. Also for treatment of for prevention and treatment of osteoporosis, it is used. So this tibolone, it is used in HRT, especially for hot flushes and osteoporosis. It has got estrogenic activity, and estrogen, when they are used for HRT, it increases the venous thromboembolism risk, but this tibolone does not increase the VTE risk because it does not have effect on liver. We have said that liver sparing is present, liver and antifibrinolytic and all the things that predispose to venous thromboembolism, they are all prevented, although it has got estrogenic activity. What are the side effects? It is, yes, of course, vaginal bleeding, So tibolone is added as HRT in postmenopausal women after 1 year of complete amenorrhea. After 1 year of complete amenorrhea, this is because it may be associated with vaginal bleeding associated with the drug. So after the establishment of complete diagnosis of postmenopause, 1 year of complete amenorrhea, you will induce this tibolone. And tibolone induced bleeding requires investigation, further investigation, because in some studies it has been associated with increased risk of endometrial carcinoma. Although the action, mechanism of action, we will see in detail further, that it inhibits the proliferation of endometrium, but still in some studies it has been reported that its use is associated with increased risk of endometrial carcinoma, increased risk of stroke, and increased risk of breast carcinoma also. So this drug is banned in United States. But what were the flaws of those studies and what the researchers they actually stated is more important. So about the nomenclature, about the origin of the drug, and now coming to the detailed discussion. It has got mood elevation also. What are the other side effects? Androgenic, acne and hirsutism, and greasy skin. So these are the side effects along with the vaginal bleeding. In breast, what it is said, although some study indicates that it increases the breast carcinoma risk, but what is more important actually, that using conventional HRT, if we use conventional HRT in breast, it becomes dense, tender, and so on mammography, it is said that on mammography, what do we see? Some malignancies they may be missed because of the dense nature, but if you use tibolone, it is noted that there is no less tenderness in the breast because of the progesterogenic effect and androgenic effect. Always remember this progesterogenic and androgenic, they are said to be cancer protective in breast. It reduces, what it causes in breast, it reduces the proliferation and increases the apoptosis. So density of the breast tissue is reduced, and the researchers they themselves mentioned that because of this decreased density and improved exposure, improved mammographic outcome, the more of the breast cancer may be picked up. So when they were compared with the HRT, conventional HRT, maybe this is the reason why breast carcinoma are diagnosed more, because they reduce the density and help in better pickup of malignant changes in mammography. So what action it has got? It has got anti-proliferative and increased apoptosis in breast tissue. So in the increased association of increased breast cancer is controversial. And in cases of postmenopausal osteoporosis, it increases the bone mineral density, it is proved, but it was a LIFT study which was carrying long term intervention on fracture study, which was stopped in 2006. This study monitored about the fractures, effect of whether it prevents fracture or not, but the study was stopped because of the decreased incidence of stroke observed during the study in women who were taking tibolone. But later the researchers they said that all the women who were included in this included in this trial, they were having other comorbidities also. So that could be the reason. That could also be the reason. Now let's move to few important points. It has got the estrogen. Which kind of estrogen receptor affinity? Estrogen receptor alpha. This tibolone, alpha hydroxytibolone and beta hydroxytibolone, they have got affinity for estrogen receptor alpha. So what advantage do we have with tibolone and SERM? This selective estrogen receptor modulator, when they are used for prevention, for treating postmenopause or postmenopausal symptom, or even when it is used for anti-cancer prevention in cases of diagnosed cases of breast carcinoma. This SERM, they are all associated with flushes, hot flushes, and it is very much intolerable to women. But tibolone, it is not associated with hot flushes. So this is the advantage. It has been seen that it can be given. Now tibolone and cancer risk. This delta 4 isomer, it has got progesterogenic effect, and it is said that it is anti-proliferative on endometrium. It is some maximum time with the use of tibolone, what is seen? Atrophy of endometrium is seen even on histopath. But some women, they may show irregular uterine bleeding, and if woman is on tibolone and her endometrial thickness is more than 3 or 4 millimeter, then you should subject her to endometrial biopsy. But in most cases, endometrial atrophy is seen. In breast cancer is most common malignant of women in developing countries, but animal studies in rats, it does not show that it has got any effect on breast tumor. In million women study in UK found significant increase in the number of breast cancer, but it was maybe because it reduces the breast density and helps in picking the early cases on mammography. So it is another side effect of is increase in case of HRT. What is happening? I just told you, increase in the density of mammography, but in tibolone it falls. So it is in a way protective, but it is definite that tibolone reduces the risk of colon cancer. It is present, and estrogens and this tibolone is better than, it is preferred in cases where it has to be used. Its role in as a carcinogenesis in breast, endometrium is this thing controversial. Stroke, it is more associated with. So why we should use tibolone and where we should use tibolone? HRT, especially in women who have uterus. The women who are having uterus, tibolone is better as compared to conventional HRT, because in conventional HRT you will have to add progesterone also, but in case of Tibolone it has got the progesterogenic and androgenic activity itself, and it is preferable in women those who have uterus. Where conventional HRT is contraindicated, there are risk of previous history of venous thromboembolism or liver disorder. In those cases Tibolone is better than conventional HRT. In cases of osteoporosis, Tibolone is better than conventional HRT along with the calcium supplements. So these are the things. Tibolone, it should be used cautiously. Those women who have increased risk of cerebrovascular accident, in those cases Tibolone should be avoided. Up to 60 years of age Tibolone may be used. After 60 you have to be cautious to select the patient for this Tibolone use. So this is the in India it is well recognized medicine. Now what about the central nervous system? I told you initially that on bone, brain and vagina it has got estrogenic activity. So bone, we have seen in osteoporosis, it is a good drug to prevent osteoporosis. It increases bone mineral density. It also reduces the fracture risk. You have to select the woman very carefully. Those who have increased risk of cerebrovascular accident, they should not be provided this Tibolone. Okay. Otherwise it is a very good drug. Up to 60 years of age it can be used. Now brain, what happens? There are both alpha and beta receptor, estrogen receptor in the brain. Alpha receptors are present in the hypothalamus and beta receptors are present in the motor and cognitive function centers, where for motor and cognitive function. So use of this Tibolone, it improves the mood also. Use of Tibolone also improves the mood of the woman, and because of its action, estrogenic action on vagina, the dyspareunia associated because of the thinning of the vaginal wall and bleeding with the coitus, they are also relieved. So women also feel improvement in sexual dysfunction. So overall it is a very good drug, and you have to choose the woman very carefully. So this is about the drug Tibolone, which is neither a SERM modulator. Why it is selective? Because estrogen, all the estrogenic receptors are not modulated. Estrogen activity is modulated where? In the bone, in the brain and in the vagina. So this is about Tibolone. It is used specially in dose of 2.5 milligram daily. And if you see that there are some risk factors, you can reduce 1.25 milligram daily also. So, but if you are using it for osteoporosis, this is the drug 2.5 milligram. But if you are using it for this vaginal or mood or other things, 1.25 milligram will also work. So this is all about Tibolone. And if you have any queries regarding the drug, you please ask in the comment box. I will be happy to reply. If you like the videos, please subscribe to our channel to be with us and to get the latest updates on the videos. Thank you so much.